Hey guys, Fazzy back here, and today we have another trade to look at in NHL 24. Before we do get started, again I do have a couple of disclaimers. I do realize this again was a 3-team trade. For the purposes of just keeping it simple, we are just going to be looking at Ilya Lyubushkin coming from the Anaheim Ducks, going to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And secondly, here, just before we get into the trade, I did want to note with the new position I've just started, unfortunately if trades do break overnight, I won't be able to cover them until the following morning, so just like the Chris Tanev deal, if there's not a video out right away, just expect it to come out the next day, as long as it's like a reasonable trade that is worth covering. With that being said, let's go into NHL 24 and break down this trade. So the official trade we do have here that has been announced is Ilya Lyubushkin will be returning to the Toronto Maple Leafs, where he did spend parts of last season. There was also another prospect going with him to Toronto. It wasn't anything major, so I didn't end up including it. Ilya Lyubushkin in-game is an 82 overall. It does say top 4 potential. I have him set at top 6, but that's just a franchise mode thing that adjusts it when you get into the mode. He does have the shot blocking X factor, as he is very, very solid in that regard. Just defensively overall, he's not too bad. Physically as well, he is very solid. But aside from that, that's more or less what you're going to be getting with Lyubushkin. He's not going to be a guy that ever puts up a ton of points for you. He's not going to probably eat up a ton of minutes. I'm assuming in Toronto he's going to be more of a bottom 6 defenseman. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe he can play over a guy like Liljegren on the second line defensive pairings, or a guy over like Giordano. I don't know. We'll have to see what Sheldon Keefe does. Going to this trade in-game, Anaheim does say no. I'm going to go and force this trade through now, and then we will take a look at potential lineups here for Toronto. So now that we have Ilya Lyubushkin on Toronto, again, obviously nothing forward-wise at all would have changed. Have the big 3 all playing together there. Looking at the defensive side of things, Morgan Rielly, TJ Brodie, very solid defensive pairing. Definitely keep those guys together. You have Timothy Liljegren and Jake McCabe. Overall wise, that's not too bad. And then looking at the third pairing, I have Giordano and Lyubushkin. Both these guys can really block shots, so that could be a very solid defensive pairing. Again, you could maybe switch Liljegren and Lyubushkin. It does give it a -2, unfortunately, in the sim. And then looking at goalies, we have Woll and Samsonov. No change there at all. And then, just in closing, giving my final thoughts on this trade here today. And just like the Tanev trade, I actually do like this a lot from both sides. Toronto, they get another very solid defenseman. Again, you need a guy in the playoffs who is physical, can block shots. Defensively, he's not too bad. He can be relied upon. Obviously, you don't want him probably playing too many minutes for you, but aside from that, he's a very good body that can fill in that lineup. And really, when you're looking at defensemen that are currently on the trade market, it seems like a lot of the prices are quite a bit higher. Obviously, you have a guy like Noah Hanifin that Calgary is going to be asking just a crazy amount for. You have Walker and Sealer in Philly. I'm assuming the returns will definitely be more than in this trade, so overall for Toronto, you didn't have to give up too much to get him, which was nice. And then from the Anaheim side of things, again, he is a pending UFA. He's probably not going to come back. You're a team that isn't going to be making the playoffs, at least for this year, so it is good to sell off these assets while you have them, get some more picks, get some more prospects in the pipeline, and then in future years when you are contending, obviously those players can grow and enter your lineup, or you can trade them for more future assets at that time. So again, it's not the biggest return just being a 3rd round pick, but at least they got something for him. But that is going to do it for today's breakdown of this trade, sending Ilya Lyubushkin back to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Definitely let me know what do you guys think of this trade in the comments below. But until then, I will see you all in the next video.